Hey, Yetta, what address should I fill out on the moving card for Canada Post?
Moving forward with the Decker team. Moving forward together with the Decker team.
Well, hello, I'm Yetta Decker.
And I'm Ken Decker.
And we're excited to be with you for another episode of Life's Inside Track, where we share techniques, thoughts, tools, and even some tips that we all need. You, I, everyone, to turn our house into home where our families thrive and we live the best life possible. Okay, address card. Change of address.
Yeah.
Which one we should fill out?
Yeah.
Probably the one we have? Or is it a new one you're talking about? Are you thinking we need to fill out a new address on our...
I don't know. Are we moving?
I don't know. So in this episode, what you're going to learn and what we're going to chat about is why you might want to actually change your address at this time. What has this season of significant, greater than normal change done to your habits and your behaviors and your lifestyle, and how that actually might cause you to want to change your address and fill out that card at the post office?
Yeah, because maybe, just maybe, the church you were going to isn't there anymore, or has moved locations, or doesn't have in-person services or something. You want somewhere else, or maybe your work moved.
Well, and here's the thing with the work moved. Like maybe you changed jobs in this season, because I think for many people, they've actually shifted what they're doing in the day-to-day and where they're doing it. And maybe you're doing a lot more of it from home. And then you kind of, like, what's come up for so many of our clients have said to us as they call and they go, this house was wonderful. This place was perfect. This location was everything we dreamed of when we purchased it. And now it's just not serving our needs anymore because our life has changed significantly.
Yeah, like one partner's working in a spare bedroom and the other partner's working in the walk-in closet, like, because they don't have office locations anymore.
Well, they never did have them because they didn't. Oh, you mean outside of house?
Yeah, with like COVID, most people traveled, and maybe now, you had a fair commute, but now you're working from home and you can work from anywhere. So that opens up possibilities of where I might want to live, because a commute is no longer an issue as long as we have high-speed internet.
Right. So this has been such an interesting season. I've never had as many conversations about speed tests. I even know how to do them now because and that's a mini miracle, because I use technology for what I need it for. Right? Mm-hmm. And yet it's not a passion or a love of mine, as all of you probably already know. And so when somebody said, what's the speed of the internet at the house? I mean, you're doing a FaceTime for me. You're walking through it for me because I can't drive from where I am, because I'm actually relocating from a much more expensive marketplace to your marketplace and to Ottawa area. And so therefore, I need to know what the speed test is. And I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting.
Well, to be able to do that, you need to tap into the person's wireless,
right?
To get a sense, because you probably aren't running on your cell phone data all day long if you're working from home.
Exactly. So anyway, I learned how to do that. I have the app. It's on my phone, and that's an extra ad service. It's a service I never thought in a million years would add value, or that I would need to learn how to do it. So maybe for you, the internet conversation where you are, it didn't matter whether you had great internet or not, because it was just for your hobby time. It wasn't your work time that needed that access.
Yeah, maybe you're thinking a great adventure, and it's time to move out of city, out of province, back to family, or going to a country. Now, we've also had many people coming back. They thought they were staying in a country for a long, long time. And then with COVID and the lack of medical services and different things have caused them to say, no, we're relocating back to Canada. So that's happening as well.
Right. So as you're listening to this, the whole point of this is not to give you uncertainty, not to increase your uncertainty. The whole point of this conversation is for you to start to think about, should I be filling out my address card differently? Are any of these reasons or shifts true for me? Has my life changed so much that what I used to love is now causing me some agitation? I'm finding myself, maybe you're finding yourself a little bit shorter. Like some of my clients have said, I just found myself snappier and I didn't know why I was snappier. And I realized that where I'm living actually wasn't working anymore.
They weren't in love with where they live anymore?
No, because sharing an office with a spouse, because I've been doing it actually for about 7 weeks, sharing a home office, and I use it a lot more than Ken does. He goes to the office most days because being an essential service and owning 11,000 square foot building, it's kind of nice to have somebody in it. So Ken goes most days. However, we have our own office. Ken has what we call the fast office, get in, get out. And I have what we call the creative office, stay and hang out and create lots of great stuff. And so for the last 7 weeks, we've had a family living with us. And so we didn't give up. Ken gave up his own office because the gentleman's working from home and needed an office. And I thought it would be crazy arduous. It's actually been not so bad, eh?
No, it's been fantastic.
It's been fantastic. And yet maybe it's not because somebody's living with you. Maybe it's just because the person that used to go all day isn't going anymore. And maybe you were already at home during the day and now someone's in your face all the time. And it's just not ideal.
Yeah. And you know what else I found? During COVID, I loved the commute to my office. It was 15 minutes flat. There was no hassles, no traffic. It was, I could listen to a book or listen to the radio or whatever. And now, I don't know whether it's Christmas shopping that's amplified the traffic or whether just more people are back to the office. And I don't think everybody's back to the office yet. But the traffic's starting to get on my nerves a little bit.
Interesting that you said back to the office yet. Here's what I'm starting to hear from our clients, that many of them are never going back to the office. There isn't a
So do you think productivity's going up or down? That's kind of a sidebar, right?
Oh my goodness. The productivity conversation is one you don't want to have with an entrepreneur.
All right.
Right? Because I think it's all over the place. I think for some people, very regimented, very focused. They treat their workday like their workday, and they're probably more productive because they can get out for a walk easier when they want to. It's just an easier flow. And for others, the home environment is causing distractions beyond distractions, and it's not working. So that's part of the conversation too, is what distractions are in your home environment, reducing your productivity while you're working.
That's a good question.
Mm-hmm. What are they?
Yeah.
Time to take some notes unless you're driving. If you're driving, don't do it.
Yeah.
Do it when you get home.
So it's interesting because sometimes productivity goes up. Sometimes people work too much because they don't have that time to leave. And so they just keep working. Mm-hmm. And the office is there, so they eat dinner and then they go back to work because the work doesn't stop.
Exactly.
Others know how to turn it off.
And so if you're kind of thinking, I wonder if it's time for me to explore this, then what would we recommend people do?
Oh, give us a call and we're going to, sit down with you and do a little consult and see whether, a move might be right for you or it's not right for you.
Exactly. No pressure. And a Zoom consult is totally cool and become the norm, actually. And so happiness does not have only one address.
So true. We're grateful to be moving forward together.
Moving forward with the Decker team. Moving forward